What is up, guys? It's your boy Motorius and we are back again with another video. Today will be a really exciting video because I am going to break down exactly what happened on day one of the Dallas homestand games of the Overwatch League. So if you are excited about what went down, please give this video a like. And without further ado, let's go over the first game, the London Spitfire against the Paris Eternal. Now, it has been a while since we've seen Paris Eternal compete in the Overwatch League, so it was really exciting to watch them, especially against 4-0 London Spitfire, undefeated in Stage 2. So how did the match go down? On the first map, Busan, Paris Eternal came out swinging. They had that Hammond pressure, which was completely amazing by LH Cloudy. He was going off, and the London Spitfire was taken by surprise. They had to deal with extreme chaos and organized pressure by the Paris Eternal, and the Eternal were able to win the first couple of fights. However, the London Spitfire championship DNA, they were able to adapt and certainly withstand the pressure that the Paris Eternal were imposing, and it all started with Jester's amazing play on Reinhardt. And man, that guy's been improving on Reinhardt. He started off stage 1 really struggling on that Reinhardt tank role, but now he is really embodying his role as an aggressive tank and a very smart Reinhardt. His shatters were amazing on Busan and for the rest of the series. But let's talk about the man himself, Fury. Everybody is talking about Fury right now throughout the entire series and the first map. He made Soon look like a fool on Zarya because Fury's Diva was eating every single graviton that Eternal was putting out. Man, and don't even let me start on Prophet Zarya. Prophet was just also doing amazing. This whole London Spitfire team was just doing absolutely insane, and they won the entire match 4-0. Now going to the second map, Temple of Anubis, we see London Spitfire having a great defense on point B. Something that's really unprecedented in the Overwatch League. Usually teams go to OT on these type of maps. However, the London Spitfire was able to hold the Paris Eternal for one single point on Anubis. As an Overwatch League fan, it was great seeing Shatterburn. He was playing Pharah. His Pharah was actually pretty solid. We had Cruz and Gray on the supports for Eternal, and we also had Nico playing Sombra. This Eternal team is playing very, very unorthodox with their DPS. They're playing Hammond, they're playing Pharah, they're playing Sombra, and also sometimes they go back to the 3-3 orthodox goats that we've seen every team kind of play. But man, honestly, Paris got stomped. They got 4-0'd, and honestly, I can't really put the blame on any of them. London was just superior in strategy, focus fire, aggression, adaptability, and most importantly, execution. Now let's talk about Soon. This guy on Zarya had most of his grabs eaten, and on Widow King's Row, I'm going to play the clip right now. He got picked twice on both defenses' first point. First time, the Widow battle between him and Prophet. Prophet destroyed him. Second time, which was completely embarrassing, Jester, the main tank player, was on Widow and picked him off with a headshot. This was absolutely insane. The casters went wild, and I just had to put this in this breakdown and recap. You guys had to watch this. It was completely absurd. Now let's talk about the player of the match for the London Spitfire, and it was none other than Fury on his Diva. 30,000 damage done, 34 final blows, 7 self-destruct kills, 3 ultimates negated, 121 eliminations. Now when people drop 100 bomb, people go wild. But he dropped 121 eliminations. That is completely insane by Fury. Props to him. And he only had 14 deaths in the entire match. Wow, Fury is a well-deserved for this player of the match. The London Spitfire take Busan 2-0. Then they take Anubis 2-1. They take King's Row 5-4. And they take Junkertown 3-1. So in total, the London Spitfire beat the Paris Eternal 4-0. On to the second match of the day, we had the Hangzhou Spark versus the Chengdu Hunters. Both teams coming into this match 5-6. Who's looking to equalize and break even? Well, the Spark came out on top 3-1. Now, even though 3-1 doesn't seem that close, if you actually watch the games, they were both going back and forth. First map was Busan, Spark take it 2-1. Second map was Temple of Anubis, Spark take it 3-2. Third map was Blizzard World, and the Hunters take that 2-1, forcing it to another game, which was played on Junkertown. That went to overtime, 5-4. The Spark take it, and then they take the series 3-1. What an absolute slugfest by both teams showing heart. Let's talk about the Spark and their very unique style they bring to the game. Now, even though the Spark do run that conventional GOATS comp with the 3 tanks, 3 supports, they also brought out the Widow, the Hanzo, the Orisa, the Roadhog, the Mercy. They were going all out. Godsby, the Zarya player, was actually doing pretty well on Widow, the hit scan. We have Crystal on the projectile heroes. He was playing Hanzo. IDK was showing his flexibility on support, playing Mercy. Even on the other side, the Hunters were trying to mix things up. They had Jinmu on Junkrat. However, the Hangzhou Spark were just good with the unity and cohesiveness they had on the battlefield. Now, who was the player of the match? It was none other than Godsby on the Hangzhou Spark. This guy played insane on Zarya. He pulled out his Widow, hitting nice clean headshots. He had 38,000 hero damage done. That is really, really high. He had 18 final blows, 60% average energy, 16 graviton surge kills. He was getting his ultimate pretty fast. He had 52 eliminations and 12 deaths. Congrats to Godsby for having a major contribution to the Spark's success. And we are done with that series. Hangzhou Spark beat the Chengdu Hunters 3-1. Now let's go over to the next match, and we have the Seoul Dynasty against the Houston Outlaws. Now the crowd was pretty hyped because they were going to watch their home team get on stage. The Houston Outlaws were representing Texas in this match. However, unfortunately for them, they got stomped by the Seoul Dynasty. 4-0, the Houston Outlaws lose to the Seoul Dynasty. Now let's look at the scores. First map was played on Oasis. The Seoul Dynasty beat the Houston Outlaws 2-1. Second map, we have Paris. Seoul Dynasty win 4-3. Then we go to Blizzard World. It was an absolute slaughter. Seoul Dynasty beat the Houston Outlaws 3-0. And finally on the fourth map, Seoul Dynasty win 4-3. Now the Houston Outlaws have been struggling this entire stage. They haven't won a game. They are 0-4 in stage 2, and you guys might wonder why. To be honest, I have no clue on what's going on behind the scenes. They just don't seem like they are playing together. We look at Dante. He's playing a really good Sombra, but when it comes to Diva, he kind of shies away. Raucus, he's had that early slump in stage 1. Maybe he's carrying on in stage 2. We have Jake not really stepping up as a carry that we all know he is. Muma's playing okay. Linkser, in my opinion, is probably playing the best on their team. However, it's just not enough. They need to pull it together, and they need to do it now if they want to succeed in the future. Now, the Seoul Dynasty is playing really solid. Yeah, they're 5-5 in season 2. They're winning some games, they're losing some games, but I really believe in the squad. They took down the undefeated New York Excelsior in stage 1 playoffs, so they have the potential and the power to do some damage in the league. They have the roster talent. They have Toby, Ryu Jahong, who we've seen on Zenyatta, we've seen on Anna, and we even seen on Baptiste. He pretty much dominated today. Michelle, Munchkin, Fitz, and let's go for Marvel, their tank player, subbed in for Fissure. This guy is insane, and he's actually the player of the match. We've seen him shine on Ryan, and we've seen him shine on Winston. Now let's talk about his stats on Winston that made him the player of the match. You guys won't believe it. He had 27,000 damage done on Winston, 19 final blows, 10 primal rage kills with his ultimate, 31 jump pack kills, and check this out, 79 eliminations and only 6 deaths. He was very mobile on Winston, playing very passive, then playing really aggressive, picking his battles wisely. He was all over the map, causing damage in the enemy backline, and that's what makes Marvel so good. The Seoul Dynasty are just getting better and better each game, and honestly, they have a really bright future. If they keep winning, they are going to be making the Stage 2 playoffs. So props to them. If you are a Houston Outlaws fan, it's not looking good for you going into the next match with Dallas Fuel. Dallas Fuel is looking confident right now. Houston Outlaws is just in a slump. They haven't won a game in Stage 2, so they need to start winning games to get that mental pressure off of them. But anyway, guys, that was the series. The Seoul Dynasty beat the Outlaws 4-0. On to the next match. It was Dallas Fuel, another home favorite representing Dallas, against the Los Angeles Valiant. With the last series of the day, the Dallas fans had something to cheer for because the Dallas Fuel stomped the Los Angeles Valiant 4-0, the third 4-0 of the day. First map was played on Oasis. Dallas Fuel beats the Valiant 2-0. Second map was Anubis. Dallas Fuel wins 2-1. And this is interesting because Dallas Fuel held the Valiant to 1 point, just like London held Paris 2-1 on the same exact map. Let's go to the next map, and we had Eichenwald. Dallas Fuel wins 2-1. And then we go to Junkertown. Dallas Fuel win 5-4. Now, some people actually thought Valiant might win this game. Many others thought the Dallas Fuel were going to stomp them. In the end, Dallas Fuel showed how great they were on this stage. With the fans on their side, Dallas Fuel had that momentum, they had that energy, and they had the integrity on stage. They played amazing. Let's break down exactly what happened and what each player was doing. Now, for most of the series, both teams were actually playing the GOATS comp. Dallas Fuel played a really great GOATS comp, way better than Los Angeles. OGE was playing Ryan, Zachary was playing Brigida, Noah was playing his Diva, Anko his Zenyatta, Closer his Lucio, and AKM was playing that Zarya that he's really good at. And what's funny about AKM is he actually played his McCree, something that he's shined on in the past, and he played amazing on that first map, Oasis, dinking everybody and playing like an absolute monster. On Los Angeles Valiant, we had Fate on either Ryan or Monkey, we had KSF on Zarya, Kariv on Zenyatta, Space on Diva, Kusta on Lucio, and Agilities on Brigida. Now, what's crazy about Agilities is I don't think he's happy playing Brigida. Now, Agilities has voiced his concern with this meta. He is tired of playing GOATs. He does not want to play Brigida. He does not want to support because he just wants to aggress. He doesn't want to heal his teammates. He wants to play heroes like Genji where he dives in. This is where Agilities thrives. He thrives in aggression, and with Brigida, he kind of has to play passive, kind of has to wait for the opponent to make their move so he could use his stun. But things are not looking good for Los Angeles. They are 2-9 in the season. They've won 2 games in this stage. However, the Dallas Fuel completely stomped them in this match. Now let's talk about the player of the match, and it was none other than OGE for the Dallas Fuel, the Reinhardt player. This guy is a complete beast on Reinhardt. He's actually prominent on a lot of top 5 lists for the best Reins in the world. He did 32,000 damage on Reinhardt, 20 final blows, 30 Earth Shatter stuns. This guy's ultimates were out of this world. His timing was perfect. His aggression was perfect. He had 11 Earth Shatter kills off of those stuns. He had 59 eliminations and 14 deaths. He set the tone for the game. He led the charge for the Dallas Fuel, and he just set the pace and the tempo for the Dallas Fuel, which led to their success. What amazing play by OGE and the Dallas Fuel. Congrats to them winning their match. It will be exciting to watch the Dallas Fuel play the Houston Outlaws for the Battle of Texas. I cannot wait. If I could predict right now, the Houston Outlaws will lose because the Dallas Fuel are literally on fire. Anyway, guys, this is the video. That's a breakdown recap of the Dallas Homestand games. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a like. If you guys want more Overwatch esports content, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more weekly videos. My name is Motorius, and this video is brought to you by ESTNN.